Coming up on City Spotlight, we are talking Toledo with the Cumberland County Fair as our backdrop. We'll talk Toledo with Toledo Mayor John Beck about the variety of businesses in Toledo, the additions of a new firehouse and health clinic. Plus, we'll also talk about the plans moving forward on a YMCA in Toledo. And we will wrap up the program talking about the Cumberland County Fair with Nancy Gabel of the Cumberland County Fair Board. We're on location at the Cumberland County Fair, and we're talking Toledo. Next on City Spotlight. City Spotlight is supported by Consolidated Communications. CCI is honored to salute the cities and their leaders in the area, as well as providing TV, internet, and phone service to local homes and businesses. We live where we work and are proud to support the communities we serve. More information available at consolidated.com. And thank you to all of you for joining us for another episode here of City Spotlight. We're at the Cumberland County Fair in Greenup. We're talking Toledo today, and we'd like to welcome to the program the Mayor of Toledo, John Beck.
Thank you.
Pleasure to have you on, John, and glad to have a new town here on City Spotlight. Look forward to many more here on Toledo, and look forward to learning about Toledo here in this first episode on Toledo. But first, John, tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
I have lived in Cumberland County since 1978, so I'm not a native, but I have lived here long enough that I feel like this is my home. I have been on the village board at Toledo. This would be my third term. I was asked to take the position of village president from our former president, Mr. Mike Fletcher, who developed a health issue that he just didn't feel like he could continue. So I filled out his term, and then I was elected as village president this spring.
So you mentioned this is your third term on the village board. The mayor serves as the village board president. So you've been a part of the community in Cumberland County here for 40 years. So what made you feel comfortable about running for that position, which you now hold?
Well, I served on the village board here in Greenup back in the 80s, and I've just always been interested in local government, and I just always feel like it's a good way to be involved in the community.
Okay, very good. All right, let's start talking about the community that you represent, which is Toledo, and you are the county seat in Cumberland County, about 1,200 residents roughly?
Correct.
Okay, very good. And let's talk about the variety of businesses that you have. Where do you want to start?
Well, we have several long-standing businesses. Probably number one would be Ben Tire, Neil Tire, and then we also have the clinic, which Sarah Bush Lincoln has been in Toledo for very many years. 3B's Hardware is a long-standing, long-term business there. We just have several people that have been in business in Toledo for several years. We have a pretty wide variety of businesses.
And it says a lot about a community for the businesses that have been here a long time. And you referenced the clinic. That clinic has been here roughly 2 years now. That's one of the newer businesses?
The new clinic, yes. They built a new clinic 2 years ago, I believe, and the old clinic was on the southwest side of the square. They moved it to a couple of blocks north and built a new clinic, real nice big concrete parking lot, and it's been a welcome addition to the community. And there's room for expansion. I think they intend to, at some point in time, there's a possibility that they will get more doctors, and so it's been a good thing for the village.
Newer addition, and healthcare is one of those things that attracts people to, you have healthcare, good schools, attracts people to the community. And as far as future additions, what are some things that the Village of Toledo is looking at potentially adding?
Well, we just added our new fire hall that was opened and dedicated in May of this year. It is on the square, and the village has a 22-acre piece of property that's located on the southeast part of town, that We have talked about possibly developing. I don't know that that will happen in the near future, but we do own the property. Right now it is being farmed, but that is there if we could attract someone to town for some type of business, we have that property available.
Majority of your businesses are obviously located near the square. Are there outlying areas that have location that is desirable to attract people to?
We have tried to really, in the last few years, we've really tried to put anything that we could on the square. Mm-hmm. With the courthouse being on the square, with Cumberland or with Toledo being the county seat, mm-hmm. Courthouse is a very focal part of the square. We have a beautiful courthouse. We're really proud of it, mm-hmm. and we have added businesses or buildings, locations, nice, pretty locations to the square, and that's what we're looking for to continue to do.
Okay, very good. And as far as foot traffic, a lot of businesses, variety of businesses, as we've mentioned here in Toledo, and serving not only residents of Cumberland County. You see foot traffic from obviously outside of the area, and we'll talk about the location, but you get people coming through here that are traveling through the area, and these businesses serve them?
Somewhat, yes, but with we do not have interstate access, so we're 5 miles away from Greenup with mm-hmm. Interstate 70. Mm-hmm. But one of the nice things about the village of Toledo is that we are in close proximity to Effingham and Charleston and Mattoon, mm-hmm. Even Terre Haute. I mean, a lot of people go to Terre Haute, right. Go to Champaign. Mm-hmm. So we don't have interstate access, but it's accessible for people to make those kind of trips.
Right, and you already referenced the new firehouse, and you don't build one of those every year, and when that does come along, you can upgrade something as important as your fire safety. That has to feel very good that you're able to do that.
Yes, and it's a very, very beautiful building. I mean, they really did a nice job, and it was a welcome addition to the square. It removed one building that was no longer in use, and so it took the place of that and has really helped the square.
Okay, very good. Something exciting that you told me about that you'd like to talk about starting being built possibly this fall is a YMCA, and when you told me that, I was, for the size of the village of Toledo of about 1,200 people, not every community holds a YMCA, so tell us about this, please.
It was a very big surprise to us. I mentioned Ben Tyre earlier, and Neil Tyre. Mr. Burnham Neal was a businessman in Toledo for many, many years, and when he passed away, he left a sizable amount of money to build a facility, and he had a lot of input in what he wanted. The Neal Foundation Board knew that they could build the building, but then they didn't know how they were going to staff it, and they were kind of at a standstill, and they got the YMCA from Mattoon, a gentleman up there. They got together, and he took the ball and ran with it, and I talked to him yesterday, and it's in the application. Everything is done. The application is in the hands of YUSA, and he feels very comfortable that will be approved. The building will be located on the northeast side of the square. Mm-hmm. It will take up basically that entire block on the northeast side of the square. It will be a 2-story building. Mm-hmm. We'll have a swimming pool. It will have basketball courts, meeting rooms, locker rooms with individual changing rooms. It will have, and then your workout machines and all that will be upstairs with a walking track that goes around the outside. So for a village of 1,200 people to have a YMCA coming to town, we are very excited about that.
Presents lots of future opportunities that we could talk about forever. It would not only benefit obviously the residents of Toledo, but obviously you'll have other residents here in Cumberland County that obviously would have to be thrilled to be able to use a facility like that.
Yes, absolutely. It's going to benefit not just Toledo, but the entire county. And much like the truck stop in Greenup has done, Greenup has definitely got a big influx of tax money from the truck stop, but it also has helped the entire county. So we're excited.
And look forward to that. And so construction on that will begin in the fall, roughly, you said?
That's their hope. Of course, they've already got the site prepared. I shouldn't say prepared. They had to do a major excavating project, and that is done. And of course, they know where it's going to be. The architecture work, I think, is all complete. So I think it's going to be a go.
All right, very exciting news for Toledo and everyone in Cumberland County. A YMCA coming near you soon. And let's talk about Cumberland County just here for a second. As we mentioned, smaller sized communities, but you guys obviously probably have to work together to help each other out to maintain what you're doing. One thing you talked about is utilities, how Toledo and Greenup work together on that.
Yes, our utility departments in both communities have worked together in the past. We've shared equipment. We've had shared manpower. You know, if we had a big problem, they came over and helped us, and vice versa. And with communities this size, I think that's very important. You have to do that.
We're taping this here at the Cumberland County Fair in Greenup in late August. Folks are seeing this at the beginning of September. A few months back, you guys have an annual spring festival in Toledo. Tell us about that, please.
Yes, it's in the middle of May, and I can't tell you exactly how many years it's been going on, but it's one of the longest running festivals in the state. It starts on Thursday, runs through Sunday. We of course, have a queen contest, and then they also usually have nightly entertainment, and then Saturday night culminates with a pretty good band that comes to town. They have a beer tent, and of course all the things that go with the festival, cakewalk, and the Toledo Volunteers, which is formerly a Kiwanis club, has Pronto Pup stand that people come from all around just to have a Toledo Pronto Pup. So it's a pretty big deal for Toledo. It brings a lot of people to town.
All right, very good. And obviously, as folks can see, we're standing at the Cumberland County Fair here in Greenup, and it's been going on for about 130 years. We'll talk more with Stacy Holsapple here in the next segment. Talk about this 9-day event. The county fairs are a big deal this time of year in local communities, rich with history, people running into each other. I ran into a gentleman and said, I'm seeing people for the first time that I haven't seen in a while. What does this fair mean to all of Cumberland County?
Well, I think it's a chance for families to come back together, and friends to get together. And, you know, like you said, it's a long-standing tradition. People just go to the fair. It's just something to do in the summertime, and people look forward to it.
And we'll take great weather as well, as we're standing out here.
Absolutely.
Kind of a cool summer day, but we'll take it for sure. Do you have a favorite fair food item?
Oh, it'd probably have to be those French fries over there.
I can smell them. They smell yummy. Before we wrap up here with you, John, and we appreciate your time and learning about Toledo for the first time here on City Spotlight, what are some of your short-term, long-term goals you have as mayor right now for Toledo? What would you like to see moving forward?
Well, one project that we are trying to work on, we have a dollar store that is located on the east part of town, and there's no sidewalk to that, and we are in the process of trying to figure out how we can get a sidewalk to that. I'd like to see that done. And we have one water main that needs to be replaced on the east side of town, and that's also something I'd like to see done if we can get a grant approved, which we've had some trouble with that, but we're still working on it. So that's a couple of things that I'd like to see done.
Public Works, obviously something that every municipality, regardless of size, is always looking to improve or maintain however old it is, and look forward to hearing your future comments on that and other things going on in Toledo. Thank you, John Beck, the Mayor of Toledo, for first time here on City Spotlight. We appreciate your time here. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. And again, we're at the Cumberland County Fair, and here on this next segment here on City Spotlight, we'll talk more about the Cumberland County Fair with Cumberland County Fair Board President Stacy Holsapple. But first, let's take a look at some of the upcoming activities going on in Toledo. And we're back here on City Spotlight. This episode on Toledo, we're at the Cumberland County Fair in Greenup. That's our backdrop, and we said we were going to talk with Stacy Holsapple, the Cumberland County Fair Board president, but he had to tend to other matters going on at the fair here on this 7th day of the fair that we're taping at. And we welcome to the program Nancy Gabel. She's on the Cumberland County Fair Board. Welcome to the program, Nancy.
Thank you.
And before we talk about the fair, which has been going on about 130 years, Nancy, tell us about yourself. How long have you been on the Fair Board?
I would say 5 or 6 years, kind of lose track after after a short time, but yes, and I've lived in Greenock for all my life actually, so I've always been a part of the fair. We've always participated in the fair. My family raises thoroughbreds and races them at the fairs, so we've always been accustomed to the county fairs.
Very exciting. We'll talk about that in a second because we got a little footage before our taping today of some of the harness racing. So that's kind of up your alley with the horses and whatnot. What gets you excited about the fair? It comes around and the planning for. What gets you excited about the fair?
Oh, excited. The people, I guess. It's good to see smiles on their faces when they come to the fair and know they're enjoying themselves. And the different events that we have every year. It's just like I said, the horse racing kind of is close to heart, and then you have the demolition derby. My family's always been a part of that too, so it's just a good fun time for the community and everyone get together and enjoy the fair.
As I mentioned in our last segment with Toledo Mayor John Beck, I ran into a gentleman. He's running an ice cream stand here, and he mentioned that I ran into somebody I hadn't seen in a number of years. So it's really a gathering for people to be able to hang out with friends and family, and sometimes people that you haven't seen in a while.
Yes, that's a good thing too. Different people will come home for the fair that you haven't seen in years, or so it's good to get together and see new faces and old faces.
Okay. Going to ask you just a little bit about some maybe brief history of the fair. The Cumberland County Fairgrounds are here in Greenup, and one of the signs says since 1888, so about 130 years.
Yes.
Has the fair always been in Greenup?
Yes.
Okay.
To my knowledge, I haven't been here for 130 years, but to my knowledge, yes, it's always been in this place.
Okay, very good. And behind us on the wide shot, folks can see the big grandstand here. There's harness racing going on right now. We got a little footage we're going to show of that, and quite a good draw of folks watching the harness racing, and several harness racers out here today. Talk about that component of events here at the Cumberland County Fair.
Well, it's been a part of the Cumberland County Fair for years as well, and everyone gets excited for the horse racing. And we do the pick a winner, where they get to pick the winner of each race, and somebody wins money in the grandstands after each race. So the people get really excited about that as well. And years ago, I will give you a tidbit of information.
Please do.
Jesse James' brother, Frank James, was the starter at the fair for the horse races.
Wow.
That's a bit of history for Cumberland County.
So a little claim to fame there.
Yes,
All
yes,
right.
We'll claim that.
All right, we'll take that as a little knowledge, trivia knowledge there about the Cumberland County Fair. You mentioned your family very heavily involved in the horse racing. What is it about horses that you enjoy the most?
Just everything about them. It's fun to be able to raise them and train them, and then watch them run a race and hopefully win a race. So it's a lot of excitement involved.
And great turnout for people watching inside the grandstand that are on right now. We hear the PA announcer behind us. Talk about some of the other activities. We're taping on the 7th day here of this 9-day fair. So what are some other events that have already taken place here at the fair?
We have the tractor pull, which is good for any community. It always draws a big crowd. Tonight we have the flat drags, which is exciting because we get local people that brings their vehicles and they just race them down the track against each other. So that draws a lot of locals because it's fun to watch your neighbor, someone try to outrun your other neighbor. And then of course Saturday night we will have the demolition derby, and tomorrow night we have Tanya Tucker. So a lot of events.
And Miss Tucker has been performing country music for a number of years, so
Yes.
so hopefully a recognizable face and voice.
Yes.
Okay, very good. Let's talk a little bit about the preparation for a fair, because it happens once a year. It's an annual thing, but the preparation that it takes to put on a fair.
It takes a lot of preparation. I don't think people really realize the time and effort that does go into it. You have to keep the grounds mowed and looking nice, and weeds cut and buildings painted, and there's just a lot. And we have we seem to have a flood every year because the river's just right down the road from us, and the water will get up very high down here. So then we always have that mud cleanup in all the buildings and everything. So it's a different Probably most fairs don't have that, but we do, but we're used to it.
But this is the location of the Cumberland County Fair, so the grounds have held up through the years pretty well?
Yes.
Relatively?
Yes, it's just the flooding that usually happens, like I said, once a year, but we get through it and ready to go Fair Week.
And obviously a big part of fairs that I personally enjoy, and probably a number of people, in addition to all the events that go on and the rides, obviously fair food. And so do you have a lot of the same vendors that come back year after year?
Yes, we have Roger's French fries is always a favorite, always. The taffy guy is one of my personal favorites. And the ice cream, there's always, yes, everyone looks forward to the people that are always here and have been for years, the vendors that come in, so.
Put you on the spot here. Don't know if you know this with being on the fair board. Talked about a lot of the long-standing traditional events. Are any new things that have changed in recent years, or that you guys are looking to maybe add to a long-standing fair such as this?
We just kind of take it year to year, and we kind of throw it around and see what we think might work. So we have a rodeo too. We've had that for quite a few years now too, and it always turns out good. Everyone likes to see the rodeo. So that was last Saturday, and the Queen pageant, always another local favorite. So yes.
Excellent things that we've talked about. We've been the last previous two episodes of City Spotlight. We're at the Christian County Fair in Taylorville, Clark County Fair in Marshall. So we're making the rounds here this fair season, and the importance of the livestock stuff with local 4-H and those type of events. Those are at the heart of the fairs, and talk about those events.
Right. They have the shows, of course, throughout the week, and everyone can go back to the cattle barns and the sheep barns and see all the livestock. And we do have a petting zoo, a free petting zoo this year that we set up, and for the town kids or anyone that's not familiar with animals, it gives them a good experience to come down and see what it's all about.
And this is we're at the 7th day again of this 9-day fair here at the Cumberland County Fair in Greenup. And Nancy, I want to ask you about the fair itself. What does it mean to residents year after year? You've told us about what it means to you, and why you look forward to it. What does the fair here in Cumberland County mean to the residents of Cumberland County?
I just think it's a big part of Cumberland County. The different, just like the Queen pageants, there's so many locals that have their kids in it or their grandkids in it, and they just look forward to that every year. And it's just been a part of everyone's lives for so many years that it just goes down traditionally to the next generation to come and enjoy the fair.
You mentioned some of your favorite things that you look forward to with the horses and whatnot. Are there other things that are favorites of yours?
Always the demolition derby. Mm-hmm. It's always a fun time. Mm-hmm. Big rowdy crowd, and it gets everyone going for the last day of the fair, so that's always exciting for everyone.
And as I've asked, is probably my last question in the last couple fairs we've been at. You think you already answered the question, but you mentioned your favorite fair food is?
The taffy.
Taffy?
That would be mine.
All right. Is there a number 2 item? Is there something else you like, whether it be a drink or food that you also enjoy as much?
Toss up between pork burgers and French fries, I guess.
Very good, and we appreciate your time here on City Spotlight. Nancy Gabel, she's with the Cumberland County Fair Board, and we appreciate your time here talking about the history and things going on at the Cumberland County Fair.
Well, thank you. We appreciate you coming.
All right, and that'll do it for this episode here on City Spotlight. We're at the Cumberland County Fair here in Greenup, this episode on Toledo. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. City Spotlight is on YouTube. Past episodes can be viewed on East Central Illinois towns that have been featured on City Spotlight. Just search on YouTube, City Spotlight, with the show number and the name of the town. Listed on your screen are the recent episodes of City Spotlight. City Spotlight is supported by Consolidated Communications. CCI is honored to salute the cities and their leaders in the area, as well as providing TV, internet, and phone service to local homes and businesses. We live where we work and are proud to support the communities we serve. More information available at consolidated.com.